And we back in 4K. It's your boy TRIVV, man. And today's topic is co-parenting, single mothers, single fathers. I'm not sure where you fall in this spectrum, but I fall more into the co-parenting spectrum. And it's definitely making me feel like, not gonna lie, but it's cool. And I'm not bitter, but I definitely see a lot of things that I wish I could have avoided and made better in my situation. And I honestly really dislike seeing anybody in a bad situation, just because they all seem pretty able to be handled by communications, or better communication, and or some type of way where things can be done in a way where the kids don't have to have any effect, because more of it all is the kids are the ones who are going to get the crappier end of the situation when both parents can't be on accord. And obviously there's the tragic situations where a single mother is a single mother because her significant other and or boyfriend or husband or whatever it may be, just a friend that they had a child with, may have passed away, and that's tragic. And then the kid doesn't get to meet their parent, and vice versa for the man's side. Those same options are also available. And then we have situations that are like similar to this video that I seen on shout out to Unpopular. I started seeing a couple of their videos kind of nurturing in this topic. I'm gonna just show a little bit. I ain't about to go through the whole video, but situations like this.
Get like a villain, just get away. I'm all she has.
You can tell her to walk to the back. We're not going to uncuff you. That's not what you're asking.
No.
Go ahead.
Is there any way charges can get dropped?
It's possible.
Okay.
I don't believe he's going to be able to drop the charges, though. But they can be dropped by the state when it comes as family violence, because you two share children. That's what makes it family violence, okay?
Yes, sir.
If a primary aggressor can be determined in that state, an arrest has to be made. And that's state law against me.
Okay. I just want to make this arrangement. How long will she be in jail for? Tonight.
And that brings me right to my main subject of what I was saying. I'll just give you a full synopsis of that video. So the father came to pick up the kid. Mom didn't want him to do what he was doing in the way he was doing it because of her own emotional gains and bounds towards the situation. In turn, police was called. Mom tried to play this role as if it was dad that was the option, and he played it cool, kept his character, didn't do anything in a defensive manner to get himself in trouble, even if he was in the right, which was kudos to him. And mom didn't, and she reacted. Other witnesses saw her reacting in the way she was reacting, and unfortunately she gets arrested in front of her kids. And now her daughter's sad and her other kid is sad because they gotta watch their parents fight, number one. Number two, they gotta watch their mom go to jail. Just wow. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like all of this could be avoided with simple conversations, but I feel like it's a complexity of narcissism that comes along with this, and it creates this narrative of how things end up being and how things don't have to, how things seem like they never change, and yo, my bad, but things never change, and because of that, we have a lot of broken homes, whether it be in a colored American household or a non-colored American household, and or across the globe with any other ethnic group or, identifying class that you identify yourself with ethnically. And the one thing that I do dislike about this whole entire argument when it comes to, the single parent thing or the co-parenting thing is that each side has done something, whether it be super detrimental or super small, and each side has a chance to make it better, whether that be by being the bigger person and or turning off your pride and being able to be in an operable situation where both sides can come to an agreement, even if it's a agree to disagree agreement that allows the bigger and better thing of the picture, which is to allow the kid to, be able to be in both parents' life. Now, if the kid, on the other hand, chooses, or kids choose that they don't like said parent, that's on them. And they're entitled to that because this is their parent. One thing that as a kid that we all were as kids, or something that we didn't ask for as kids, is to be here. We just came here via the, you know what I'm saying? But, without saying, being too descriptive, you know what I'm saying? And because of that kind of puts the responsibility on the parents to be responsible and or not to be responsible, because that's also an option for the parents and people that feel like that's how they want to operate in this world. Like, I just make people just because I can, and good luck, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, but retrospectively, I feel like it's a lot of small issues that can always be fixed, but you know what I'm saying, is not. And I also feel for those single mothers that are also going through the same thing, that they wish I wish that they had not to go through the things that they have to go through, and I'm gonna chime into this little video that I was watching too, where she was talking about the things that she wished she knew before becoming a single mother.
Find a man who wants to date a single mother. So with that, I've almost caught myself trying to go overboard with showing what I can bring to the table, when in all reality, if this man is sent to me from God and this man is the man that's supposed to be with me, I only need to be myself. I don't need to go above and beyond to show you that you should overlook the fact that, hey, you might be a stepdad if this works out. I shouldn't have to go above and beyond to prove to you that I'm worthy of love, because I'm worthy of love exactly how I am, whether I have a child or not. So if a man ever makes you feel like you have to go above and beyond to convince him to commit to you, you need to let it go. Again, not everybody's meant to be in your life, and that's okay. I think that's also been one of the hardest parts of dating, is accepting when somebody's not for you, because I'm a type of person who loves very deeply, especially because I want a family and I want to have more kids. I want to get married. I want to be a wife. I look at every situation very seriously from the beginning. I look at how you operate. I look at how you communicate. I look at your day to day, and I see, like, could this work? And if I can see it working, then I'm pouring my all into you. I never hold myself back. So you have to have that heavy discernment on what's going to be right for you and what isn't.
And I totally agree with what she's saying. It's probably 10 times harder for a female, than it is for a male when it comes to, raising kids or being a mom, just because, that's something that came from your body, something that came from your womb. It's something that's, never ever will ever really get the understanding of how that really feels. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't get to carry a child inside of you as a man, or at least not in the way that a woman carries a child, and I give all props to any woman that births a child, whether it be, via the vag, and or whether it be, C-section, which I really commend women that have to go through that. and women that have early pregnancies where their kids are premature, and women that have super healthy pregnancies where their kids come out of the amount of weeks that a child is supposed to be born in the proper way. So I definitely have a heart for all of those different types of situations that women go through. And not that I can say I understand it, because obviously I'm a man, but I do have a ton of respect and high respect and emotional, love given towards women that go through, whether it be single mothers, or, is not a complete single mother in the sense of the person who you had a kid with is around, but is abusive and, punching you or beating on you in front of your kids and all that kind of stuff. I really dislike those types of situations. And that's honestly for both parties too. Like, I feel like that, you know what I'm saying, for literally both sides. Like, I don't think anybody should be putting their hands on each other in any old kind of way, and that also goes to, similar to the situation that I was in, to be attacking anybody and having to have a person defend themselves, and then pretending like that says that person has been abusing you, or telling some type of fabricated story and not the whole story, to show why situations have arose in certain ways. That's not fair to either party, whether it's a man or a woman. Like, as a man, you can't keep beating on a woman and get mad when she lashes back and does something heinous to you. And as a man, you should know that you should never have to, and a woman too, but especially men, you shouldn't have to be putting your hands on a woman and punching or kicking or putting a woman through any physical abuse when you could just be the bigger person and leave. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion on how they feel about that, but in my opinion, I would suggest that you don't do those types of things, because you will get incarcerated and you may lose your rights to your kids. You may lose the time and the respect of people that you once wanted to have the respect from, and vice versa to the ladies that are crying wolf. I wish that there was the same amount of diligence that the courts have for when a woman is attacked, for when a man is attacked and or falsely accused, especially. I feel like even if they don't have to go to jail, like, maybe make them pay child support, or maybe make them, get on probation, or, just some type of consequence, so that it would slow down the females that are doing those types of things, to make the females that are going through those types of things also get looked at a specific type of way, because it's just a double standard on both sides of the fence for both parties, retrospectively. There isn't really one, ignorance comes in all shapes, sizes, sexes, whether you heterosexual, whether you homosexual, whether you trans, whether you, whatever the case may be, abuse is abuse, and yeah, man, that's just something I wanted to, that was on my mind, that I wanted to rant about, going through a lot of the situations that I've been going through in my life. And I've been, a part of situations that I wish could have went different ways, but unfortunately, you got to make sure you are doing much more research on the people that you choose to have intercourse with, that you choose to do business with, that you especially choose to have kids with. Yeah, man. Life is short, and gotta make sure that you make the decisions that you're making with a valid sight of where you want to land in the coming years, because otherwise you might be playing catch up, or you may not be able to recover time that you wish you had with certain people, or with friends or family or kids or aunties, moms, uncles, whomever, just because you were kind of trapped in a situation that you kind of put yourself in. And that's kind of how I feel about all of the situations that I've ever been in, whether it be girlfriends or whether it be girls that were just for the moment, and or you know, the female that I have a child with, or the female that I'm currently trying to have a child with. You know, everything all has to have its proper planning and a plan B, plan C, plan D. You know, because plans are destined to change, people destined to change, time destined to change. And yeah, man, it's your boy Trev and 4K, man. Got a little deepity weepity. I don't even know what I'm saying. What the? But yeah, man, we got real, and we'll be back with more content in 4K, man. Press that like button, press that hype button, press that subscribe button. Yeah, man.